I'm not interested.
The song goes like this.
Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. Welcome to Trial and Error, where I play the first part of a game or a game demo, usually do that pretty badly and give you my thoughts along the way. This time I'm looking at Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, my history with BioWare is kind of a bumpy one. I did enjoy the Baldur's Gate games. They were a little bit complex for me, that I wasn't familiar with the D&D rules, and so that just made it a huge steep learning curve. Ultimately had to cheat my way through them, but still really enjoyed them. Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2 are possibly my favorite games, maybe of all time, certainly my favorite BioWare games up to this point, and Dragon Age Origins would have been my all-time favorite if it had the great campaign editing system of Neverwinter Nights that would allow users to create tons and tons and tons of content. But I really enjoyed, as far as campaigns go, Dragon Age Origins is probably my favorite BioWare game. But then after that, they really kind of took a downward turn for me, with Dragon Age 2 becoming more of like an action RPG type of thing, and Mass Effect I initially, wasn't sure how I felt about, but once I figured out what it was, I enjoyed it, and as kind of like an action RPG, but then starting with 2 and then continuing into 3, it really became, compared to what I was used to, more of an action game than really an RPG, to the point where they're almost RPGs kind of in name only. I mean, in the same way that like the Far Cry games these days, I don't know if anybody really calls them RPGs, but they have RPG elements, And then Dragon Age Inquisition I felt was a step back in the right direction, but it still was just a little bit too shallow for me. I didn't like the crafting system. I thought the magic spells, there was just lacking variety big time for magic users in that game. I also tend to have problems with the dialogue system in BioWare games. In an effort to kind of, I assume, make conversations interesting and unpredictable, or whatever the aim might be, they sacrifice my ability to roleplay, because I don't know exactly what my character's going to say. I'll just get a little phrase that indicates kind of the direction my character's going to go in their dialogue, but then I might end up saying something that I'm like, whoa, crap, that was way too intense, or oh, I didn't want to side with you that much, and we've seen other video game companies, role-playing game companies, imitate that, and that really kind of bums me out, because it takes away my ability to truly choose how I want to play a character. Also, the whole renegade and morality systems that we've seen in BioWare games and other imitators and things like that, I really prefer, and I think games are moving in this direction, I really prefer not to have the game makers impose their ideas of what is, edgy or good or bad or roguish, or a paragon and stuff like that, I'd rather they just give me a world where my choices in dialogue have effects on the game, and not assign to me what, some description based on the moral code of the people writing the game, which may vary significantly from my own. And on that note, BioWare games, I felt like ever since Dragon Age, especially Dragon Age 2 and the Mass Effect games and onward, are always good for some interesting themes that pop out. They seem to have, from a writing standpoint, the sense I get is that their writers are coming from a non-theistic or maybe even atheistic, naturalistic type of philosophical worldview. I think I saw some of that in Mass Effect, and certainly a religious kind of vibe is what I was picking up in the Dragon Age games, in the way that they portray monotheism. But I mean, that's really any game that's in a fantasy environment that portrays monotheism or even polytheism, but that there's kind of an organized religion and stuff. You better believe those are going to be the bad guys. They're going to be the hypocrites. Blah 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 blah. I'm long past being offended by that stuff. It's just not creative anymore. And then there was also some there seemed to be some things that they wanted to say, some values that they hold to, that they wanted to put forth regarding homosexuality in the Dragon Age Inquisition, and I think also in Dragon Age 2. So So I'm getting a sense now, I'm seeing a pattern kind of philosophically where BioWare games tend to come from, and so I'm always interested, is that pattern going to continue? What kinds of ideas and truth claims philosophically are they going to be making with their games? More than anything else, I'm just kind of in this for like a fun game. I'm going to try and enter into this and say, you know what? Now that I have seen where BioWare is going, I'm not going to expect what I think of as an RPG. I'm just going to go into this. Is it a cool sci-fi exploratory game that won't be so difficult like most action games are for me, that I can actually get through it and enjoy the story and enjoy exploring the world? That's really what I'm in games for, is to explore and see the worlds that they have created and just kind of create my own internal mental story of what my character is thinking and all about, as I enter into that. So I really have no idea what to expect this game. Let's get into it. Well, that's interesting. Display conversation icons is an option. If enabled, icons will appear in the conversation wheel to indicate the tone of the choices, when you'll be flirting or making friends, and when you're making a story choice. Why would you want that disabled? If you disable that, you could accidentally find yourself flirting with someone, which is what I accidentally did in Dragon Age 2, with a homosexual character, and then when I tried to kind of back out of it, the only option of backing out at that point was being a huge jerk about it. Oh, I see. So it pops up that. So I've got a professional choice and a casual choice, but not an emotional or logical choice this time. Okay. It'd be nice if there was always one of the four available for every single dialogue choice.
Found it! Bad relay. Ryder, can you go reset it? There! It's reset! Do it!
Go ahead and take us to the bridge.
Helm control, report. We're drifting. Flight controls aren't responding.
Dr. Carlyle, with everything going on, I think the Ark needs you more than we do.
Okay, team, listen up. I chose each of you for the Pathfinder team, not just because you're talented and passionate.
Boy, there's a lot of just kind of watching and walking in this first hour here.
It has to be advanced engineering.
Imperium, this is the Pathfinder. We've got evidence of an alien symbol.
Alright, let's see. Can I die here? Let's try this. Ah! Oh. Whoa. So this is like a straight up shooter, so there's no freezing or anything really. Alright, that's not so tough. Good. What was that?
Shit, hear that?
Yes.
What the hell's that?
I don't know.
Watch out! Okay, it's dead.
Is it? Because it's jiggling and wiggling still. Alright, there we go. Did I get him? I need... Oh, bad guy! I don't know, maybe it's... I am a little bit tired, but even so, the pace so far feels a little on the slow side.
Watch it!
Are you bad? Oh, it's bad! I don't know, maybe it's that so far there's not like an emotional hook for me to be pulled into the story. I mean, they're here to explore and look for a new life. And boy, there are some obstacles and things aren't friendly, but I don't know. I think I'm wanting something that's more of a personal hook, a personal motivation. Like his sister is, not waking up, and I feel like that's a good opportunity for there to be a dramatic hook, an emotional hook. Like maybe she needs something that he has to find out here while he's exploring. And so there'd be a very personal motivation for him to get back for all this exploration. I mean, I like exploration in games, but I like there to be kind of a reason, a little bit more of a motive. I don't have a sense of kind of like the loot and the equipment systems. to help me motivate, picking up loot, finding items. So right now, both in terms of the systems and the story, I don't feel a motivation for the exploring. I don't know what the reward is for me to explore right now. At least in Skyrim, where there's not really a story motivation pulling me in, there are at least systems. There are things I can go and collect, and I know how they will feed into my progression of my skills and building my capability as a character. So one or the other motivation for exploring would be nice. I'm still less than an hour and a half into the game at this point, though. Dang it, I want my aim to kind of like... Don't I have auto-aim? I guess I just want the aim assist to be a little bit stronger.
Cavalry to the rescue. Nice to see you guys. You too, Harry.
Did he say cavalry to the rescue?
Still in
It's
one piece.
cavalry. Calvary is where Jesus died. Cavalry is the good guys coming to help. But there's certainly a very true sense in which Calvary comes to the rescue, isn't there? Oh! Oh, there's a big thing! Yeah, it's got lots of these kind of cinematic scene breaks, but
Let's go!
I'm not sure if I feel like the gameplay is super compelling yet. Yeah, it definitely so far feels much more like a shooter than an RPG. I'm not even getting any RPG kind of feel out of this. Oh! Those dogs!
Scott, I need your help over here.
Go, it's okay. We'll keep a lookout.
We need to get this door open.
On it!
What do you mean, on it? How do I open the door?
Ryder, get over here. That's an order.
I'm trying. I'm right there with you, dude. What do you want me to do, Dad? Oh, there it is. Mission failure? Just because I didn't lift the door fast enough, huh? Oh, geez, I gotta do this whole thing over again? Are you kidding me? Freaking lame. That was lame. Okay, so that's definitely one strike. 2 more things like that happen, and I'm done with this game forever. Got no patience for playing the same part of a game again and again and again. I lived through the Super Mario Brothers age of video games, and it was horrible. Boy, compared to some other games, oh! The aim assist is not
Hold both sides.
as good as I need it.
Place it.
Aim! See,
I don't know, but they
I want it when it aims to, like, slide over to that bad guy instead of just zooming in. Hey, another cutscene. It is the really rare video game these days that has an interesting enough story to me, with interesting enough characters, that I have much interest at all in cutscenes. And Mass Effect really seems to be doing a lot of cutscenes. You get some choices here and there, but still it's almost, it reminds me a little bit of like old school Japanese RPGs. I'm just a lot more interested in a BioShock style of storytelling where the story is happening through maybe set piece moments that I am still controlling my character during.
My father. Where?
See, notice he says my father, and it's just little things like that in the writing that I think could have made the connection between father and son more powerful if he would have said something as simple as my dad. I mean, most people I know, when they talk about their father, they don't say my father, they say my dad, And even if the relationship is strained or whatever, I think there's a little bit more familiarity there. And so I'm a sucker for a father-son story, but there's just not quite enough connection that I can relate to. I'm just at the point in video games now where it's like, if I want to watch a story, I'll watch a video or I'll watch a movie. In video games, I want to play the story. I want to be interacting with it as it's unfolding. I'm not even sure what motivates Scott Ryder, the main character. They've designed him to be enough of his own character as opposed to my creation that I can customize, not just in appearance, but in terms of, in my mind, what I think he's all about. They're not really giving you that opportunity, or there's not multiple choices for your voice type or your personality type. They're really presenting you with, this is basically who this person is. You can change how they look, and you can make some dialogue choices, but this is basically who this person is. And who Scott Ryder is, so far, It's not very interesting to me. I don't really know what drives him, what he wants, and so I don't know how to root for him when he's getting close to his goals and what he wants in life. So I'm just not connected at all yet, about 2 hours in, with the premise, the story. I don't know why it's important for them to discover a place to live, the motivations of any of the characters. I'm just not connected with any of it on an emotional level at all. And that would normally be fine, but so much of the game so far is watching a story rather than playing a game. I mean, you're definitely playing more than watching, but I mean, still, percentage-wise, there's a lot more watching than I'm used to in video games these days. And so I kind of need what I'm watching to be more engaging from a story and character standpoint for my tastes, for me to really feel good about this game I'm playing.
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything. And right now, I just want to know what
Her
happened
face seems
with
very
Andy.
tired. It's barely
Not how he
moving.
died. I pulled those.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bored. I don't want to talk about any of these things. Just tell me where to go for the next quest. Look at this, look at this. I gotta just talk to people. That's what they want me to do. I gotta talk to 4 different people, none of whom I find interesting so far. See, for me, a role-playing game is not just a game that has story. It's about playing the role. And I feel like I'm walking around a lot, I'm talking to people, and then I'm watching things. But I don't feel yet like I'm playing a role, any more than I would in, say, an action video game. Except action video games don't require you to listen to a ton of story you're not interested in.
Though I'm artificial in design, I am fully sentient, far beyond what even the initiative understands.
Huh. Okay, so we're getting into the AI stuff again, and this is where this is what I'm talking about when I say that the Mass Effect series has had a naturalistic view, because they tend to view AI, or encourage the player to view AI as persons, just as much as human beings are people, and we're meant to kind of empathize with them and value them as life just as much as we are life. And the reason that I would say that's a naturalistic view is because humans don't have any way of artificially creating a non-physical anything, and yet we have a non-physical component. But that's not something that you're going to subscribe to if you are a naturalist or an atheist. Then you're going to take the position that there is nothing beyond physical stuff. And so that's why in a game like this, it would be, or in a setting like this, if it's a naturalistic world, a naturalistic universe, it's going to make perfect sense to value the quote-unquote life of a machine just as much as the life of a human being, because there is no distinction, because under a naturalistic view, humans are just stuff, just like toasters are just stuff. And I suspect, I'm given the options here to just kind of say wow and kind of like marvel at the truth of this AI being kind of like a human and being truly sentient, So I can say wow, and that's the emotional one. And then the logical one is you're just a computer. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing if I go that route of just treating AI like you're just a computer, you're just a machine, they're going to treat that like that's the bad thing to say, Like that's mean of me to say that.
What did the doctor say?
He told me to appreciate the time I have left. There's no cure, Alec. It's terminal.
Not on my watch.
Symbiosis is a mutually beneficial relationship between 2 life forms.
So the AI here describes this symbiosis as something that benefits 2 life forms. So we're already asked to accept that this AI is viewed as a life form.
This incredible woman I've been married to all these years. She's facing the end. All I think about are the times I wasn't there for her. Well, that's going to change. It occurs to me that Sam might be more than I ever imagined.
Alright, yeah, that's what I thought. I got a prediction here, and I don't think it's a crazy one. I think that what's going to happen is the Sam AI is going to continue evolving over the course of the story, and we're going to discover that at some point the main character's father took like a brain scan of her and did the whole, what's that movie with Johnny Depp where he uploads his brain? Uploads his brain. Makes a copy of her brain is what's really happening there. Not moving data, but copying and pasting data. And then the original source is going to die, and then the AI is going to turn into Scott's mother. And then it's going to be treated as though it is just as much her real mother as the mother that died. And so we're going to, again, be asked to invest in the life of an AI. Otherwise, if we don't invest in that, then emotionally we'll have to steel ourselves against what we're being told, what the experience of the game is intended to be, and we just will miss out on all the emotion and the good fuzzy feelings that the game wants to give us. So that's always kind of a bummer when like the drama of a game or a story or a movie and its ability to emotionally engage me depends on me accepting some worldview that I just disagree with. So yeah, that's Pater's prediction. Mommy's coming back to life as an AI. Okay, so I'm going to be gaining research data points from scanning things in order to unlock blueprints and then do some crafting and stuff. Okay, well that's good. At least now there's a reason for me to do all the scanning. I think some of the pacing issues and the fact that the story doesn't interest me can be helped some by the ability to skip or cycle quickly through dialogue. You know, I'm able to read through some of the dialogue faster than the actors say it, and so I can just go square, square, square and kind of get through those dialogue bits. So I can, you know, keep up with the story, but I don't have to sit through the story. You know, and I don't want to make too much of a stink about, you know, the shortcomings I'm feeling with the story, because I generally don't enjoy any stories in video games except for the kind of emergent one that I mentally create in my mind. I didn't enjoy or really find myself emotionally connected with the stories, any of the main story or side stories of the original Mass Effect trilogy. Oh, I have to stay here to listen to the audio log? I just want to walk away while I listen to it. Oh, that's a step backward. Yeah, this game just in general wants to pin me down to tell me its story, and that's kind of frustrating. I want story on the go. I much prefer kind of the Skyrim method of storytelling where, you know, cutscenes are happening and you are able to walk around in the cutscene and interact with it. You can even kill somebody in the middle of a cutscene. Of, you know, I mean, I just feel much more like I am part of the story rather than a witness to it and kind of a captive to it. It's not that I think Skyrim has this great story, but at least I can kind of interact with it in the way I choose, and so I'm not a slave to just kind of sitting through it. In the same way, this story isn't like doing anything special for me at all, and so I'd rather not be such a slave to it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm 3 hours in. I think I know what my opinion is of this game, but a little rule that I give myself when I'm playing RPGs is to play at least 5 hours of them so I can feel like I have a justifiable opinion and sense of what the game is. But I don't see this game getting any more enjoyable to me, and so frankly, I'm just not looking forward to slogging through the next self-obligatory 2 hours of gameplay. I don't know, I suppose you could argue, you know, that, oh, you haven't really given a game a chance unless you've, you know, played 10 hours of a role-playing game. Then you know if it's any good. Well, some role-playing games only last about 15 hours, you know? And for me, when I'm playing a role-playing game, whether it is, you know, a 15-hour role-playing game or a 100-hour role-playing game plus, you know, I feel like if it hasn't grabbed me in the first 5 hours, and most times if it hasn't grabbed me in the first 2 hours, you know, I know what this game is going to be, and I am not interested, and whether or not I'm going to be interested in it, that, or it's just not worth it to me to keep pushing through in hopes that somewhere around the 10-hour mark it'll really get good. What? Am I stuck? Oh, come on. Jeez, get me out of here. Oh my gosh. Get me out. Oh my gosh. What do I gotta do? I gotta reload my save. Just trying to figure out how to climb that thing that you want me to climb. I'm just trying to do what you want me to do, game. So Life is coming out this Friday. Looking forward to that. Looks like a good movie. I mean, I like the visual design of the Mass Effect games, and this game's, no exception to that. So, I want to give it props for that. It's not completely uninteresting to me. I don't know, I don't find Ryder to be an interesting character at all. I don't know, maybe if I was more into, like, classic Star Trek, which is just kind of more about exploring, just to explore, But I'm more of a Farscape guy, I like to see all the crazy, wild things that the unexplored universe has to offer, but I need some passion, need some drama! I'm sure this will not be a popular view, but I'd rather be playing No Man's Sky right now. Alright, here's my car, let's see how it works. Whoa! Did my people just drop from the sky? Come on, you've got to be better than that.
Wait!
It's love at first sight. Oh my gosh, I'm bored out of my gourd. Ta-da! You must return to the mission area. Do not explore. Do not explore. Do not explore. So much for open worlds, huh? Life support depleted. Health dropping. Interest fading. I don't like that I gotta go into a six-wheel drive mode to just climb little hills. The car in Mass Effect 1 was way better than this car. That thing could climb all kinds of crazy stuff. Is my car about to blow up? Come on, shift. Climb. You gonna fix my car? I need that little guy from Mad Max to come out and fix my car. What is this? Oh my gosh, is this like a lock-picking minigame? Okay, in all fairness, I have not been sleeping well lately. We're in the middle of getting ready to move to a new house. So that could be affecting my enjoyment. But I don't know, I've reviewed games when I've been tired before, and if I enjoy them, even if I'm tired. Oh my gosh, I don't want to...
Filled in yet.
Just give me the glyphs. Tired of this.
You'll need to scan for the missing glyphs, Pathfinder.
Yes, I know. Where? Where are they? Scan for the missing glyphs. Scan where? So I just need to follow my quest marker. No, the quest marker's right there. Where are the glyphs? Is that the glyph? Fine. That's it, right? Don't I have the... What do you want me to do? What is this? Decryption impossible due to missing glyph information. Scan nearby surrounding... What is the... I don't understand this game. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I don't like puzzles. I don't want to play a game with puzzles. Would you just tell me what the object of the game is? It's like, fill in the missing blank. Just tell me something about what you want me to do. This isn't fun for me. I don't like abstract puzzles.
Guess we'll have to scan for the rest of these.
Guess so. Where should we scan?
Finish what she started.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bored! Just climb the thing. Just climb it! Great.
That should do it.
That should do it. So now I can use the console. You gonna tell me the rules of the game now? So now they give me the rules. They just didn't tell me how many glyphs I needed to go find before I could even attempt this. So that was lame. And even now, understanding how this game works, I'm not going to want to ever play this mini-game again. I don't want to do this stupid hacking game, and I'm probably going to have to do it a ton. Yay! I was seriously about to just quit the game right there. It definitely feels more like, kind of like a shooter with all kinds of, like, forced story moments. You know, you go around and there's like these very gamey kind of ammo pickup points, and although there are there's looting that you can do, you can only change your equipment loadout like in between missions or dungeons or whatever, and so it doesn't have that kind of RPG gradual ongoing sense of progression. Yeah, you know, I'm a little shy of 5 hours playtime on this game, not too much, but I I've seen enough. Enough to know that this is not my kind of game. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just feels a lot more like an action game than it does like an action RPG. And if I wanted to play a sci-fi story-oriented shooter, then I'd go back and play like Singularity again. And for third-person, sci-fi action RPG, I'd go to Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, a lot of that feels like, fantasy because of the environment, but a lot of it has underground levels and you're fighting machines and stuff, I'm not at all interested in the story or the characters. I don't feel for any of them or really understand what drives them. Philosophically, it doesn't look like they're treading any new ground with this game. I think it's probably going to be so far it looks like it's the exact same naturalistic type of worldview that was the basis for the original Mass Effect trilogy. It doesn't mean I can't enjoy a game just because it has that worldview. I'm enjoying Horizon Zero Dawn, and it has so far a very naturalistic worldview. But it just means that there's just one more way in which it's not doing anything that strikes me as original or interesting. I've heard some buzz that people aren't into the facial animations. They're being very critical of those. But I don't think that having better facial animations would fix the experience for me. I guess it's possible because maybe then I would relate to the characters. They would seem more emotive and real. But I still don't understand, just from a pure dialogue story perspective, what really is driving people, and I don't feel a desire to kind of root for anybody and hope for them to succeed in what they're doing. It's also up against a bunch of other games that I'm really enjoying right now, and a lot of those aren't even new games. I mean, this game is coming out when there's a bunch of other new games that are coming out that are fairly promising. That said, this still has more RPG elements than other sci-fi shooters that are out there, so it does have a few, Mass Effect as a series has a few unique elements to itself that you can't get anywhere else. So I'm gonna keep my game saves for this. I've just rented the game from Redbox. I don't have any plans to purchase it anytime soon, but maybe some long distant day when it's just a few bucks in a bargain bin or on Amazon used, I'll think to myself, oh, I still have my save file for that. Why don't I get this for a few bucks and give it a shot since I have nothing else to do? But until that day comes, I've had enough of Mass Effect Andromeda. Those are my thoughts. I'd love to get yours in the comments below. Visit spiritblade.com to check out our audio dramas and our weekly podcasts, and then I hope you'll join us sometime at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth.